So just for the clarity, imagine from this, from RD, what is saying about the research and development is the core of the DX. Then from out of that, we have our raw materials from factory, manufacturing, and some distribution owned by DX. So it's a one dragon company, one total company. Exactly. That's why I'm always saying to the members, you don't need no ask anymore about the company, about the product. It's all proven. The question is, you are you equipped? Faith.
It's only on the foundation of faith that journey of life begins. Remember this. Keep the faith and the rest will follow. Okay? Because in faith there are no doubts. In faith, trust breeds. In faith, relationships of love, harmony, care, concern all live. Right? So remember to have faith. Faith is the easiest thing that we can do. And that's, to have faith is to just remember to give up on everything else. And just give yourself, submit to the thing that you want to believe. And if you believe in the extent, then never ever give rise to any doubt. Just keep the faith. That's it.
And since we are going to have this third book available in the Philippines, we'd like to take this opportunity since you are the author of this book. Soon we are going to have this book imported in Philippines. Actually, you have few copies already. And some of which Dr. Rajesh have presented the insight on what is the network of diamonds all about. And in Davao, we already have 10 orders. That is all. You still have to autograph and sign. And it's going to be available soon. So can you give us an insight on what in the book that they can, all the network of diamonds right here in Philippines can really benefit, and all the networks, not just diamonds.
So when I was discussing with Doctor, I knew that behind every success there has to be some kind of philosophy that drives that decision making, the choices that a person makes. And I also knew that behind every philosophy there has to be some kind of knowledge content that the person acquires from. And when I delved deep, I realized that one of the books that influenced Doctor's way of thinking was this book called the Diamond Sutra. And it was an ancient book that was first printed in China. And it then became like the book that was shared around, especially the trademen, the people who were doing trade, okay, along the Silk Route and the Spice Route. Because trading was one of the most dangerous business that anybody at that time could go into. Like for example, taking silk from central China, going all the way on camels and something in horses and going and trading it to somebody in Europe. You can imagine such a tough journey. Today you don't have to do something, right? You have to just become a member of DX and take a product and give. It's so easy. But that was not the case 2,500 years ago. People had to carry that silk on that, then go to a land that never knew or saw what silk is, then go and try to sell there and convince there. Maybe on the way there are people who will rob them, so many things. And how can you do business in that zone of fear and anxiety and worry? So this book became that tool to make sure that the mind that has this habit of thinking does not think. It remains in a non-conceptual state, just like a mirror that reflects things as it is. So this mind can become like that, and this book is basically covering all those aspects that Dr. Lim had applied from this book. That's the ancient book, 2,500-year-old book of prosperity, to creating DXN as the business of prosperity. So I've tried to build both together and put all those things so that you can understand that old book through the perspective of DXN, and how Doctor used one element after the other of this book to make DXN a prosperous company. And if you can apply that in your life, I'm sure, as I said, you will be little Dr. Lims and you will be a little DXNer also, with a successful company that you will run under it. Yeah, so that's it, yeah. That's the book. So these are two aspects of it, right? One is this, when this picture is there, this is the picture of Dr. Lim not losing focus. He always says, don't look left, don't look right. Look directly into the exit. That's what he does. For him, nothing else matters. The road is straight and he drives straight. This is what is the gift of that focus, a prosperous businessman. Malaysia's Forbes listed the richest men in Malaysia, and Doctor is the 40th richest man in the Malaysian Forbes list. So you can imagine, okay, how focus and passion can be. So this is basically that. And if you look at it, let me give you a quick run through. So this book is all about that. I'm sure you loved reading it because I really enjoyed writing it, and I felt this is one of the best gifts that we could give to the world, The Secret, because there are books like The Secret and who have sold so many millions of copies. But if you even become a simple distributor of this book of Dr. Lim and pass on the book also, I'm sure you can make a lot of money, because even selling books is big money, right? You still get it with PBS. So let's take this. So here are certain one-liners that I've taken extract from, and I think from today's session you will understand what I mean by this. When I say simplicity is the path to abundance, I think it's clear now. You want a simple life or a complicated life? Simple. So keep it simple, right? And simple things you can always check. When you can take decisions fast, life is simple. When you're taking a long time deciding, it's already complicated. When you propose to a girl and the girl says, yes, it's simple, just get married. If you propose and she says, I'll take another week, another 15 days, I think it's already getting complicated. Right or not? Same is with the guy also. So you should understand, keep it simple. Virtuosity is the architect of prosperity. Remember to be virtuous. People like to be with people who are good. You cannot like to be with people who are bad. That is why society gives access to good people to live in the way they can, because they can mix with others. The bad people have to be punished, right? People don't do business with bad people, but they do business with good people. So remain good, have some value system that you follow, respect the organization. You cannot be in DXN, okay, and talk bad about DXN. You think anybody will join you? Nobody, right? Because if those qualities you don't have, so what are those 5 qualities that will make you virtuous? Is 1, I shall not harm. It's such a nice thing. Then why should you harm somebody? Why should you harm another distributor? Why should you even talk about it? I shall not harm means I shall live in harmony, right? It means I will live in peace. So I shall not harm is one good quality. Second, I shall not take that something that doesn't belong to me. I will not take somebody's prospect, downline, a referral. Instead, I will go out to help that person. So I shall not take something that does not belong to me becomes a quality of virtuosity. People will trust such a person. You understand? Third is I shall not disturb the harmony of any network or family or society. I will not go and break people's relationship. I will not go and spoil the, somebody who's thinking something to do something new. I will not demotivate him. I will go and support him because he's also a DXNer. Maybe he's a cross line, but he's from the same family, he's from the same tree. So I know that I'll be a part of harmony rather than disrupting the harmony. People like to be with those people. Fourth is, I shall not make false claims. Don't overclaim, don't make big claims on opportunity, on business. You should know that let's be more realistic with life, right? When you know that reality is the only thing that you're going to face every day, then why live in a fake world? Why make those false promises, false claims? And that's also a very important thing that people do business with. People do business with real people. And when you become a real distributor, people will definitely associate with you. Okay, and lastly is that you shall not intoxicate yourself. I just become a crown diamond, I become a crown ambassador, and I am the greatest, and somebody below me is nobody. That is intoxication, sir. Do not be intoxicated with position, do not be intoxicated with power, do not be intoxicated with knowledge, do not be intoxicated with drugs. It's so simple. Because somebody who is intoxicated, a person who is not intoxicated does not want to go with that person, right? Would you go on a ride with a person who is highly drunk, taking you on a bike, telling you, I'll take you across this road? You'll say, sorry sir, I don't want to go with you, already high, right? You might just, be the reason that my life ends. So definitely these 5 things, these are the things that make you virtuous, and only virtuous people are prosperous. Okay, in non-attachment we find true freedom. Okay, don't stick to your ideas and concepts. Set them free. Be detached. What somebody told me, I felt so much bad. That is attachment. Let it go. If it is a hindrance in the progress of the path that you're going on, let it go. If it's something that is a part that's going to help you in the progress and reach your goal and destiny, then make sure you hold it. So detachment or non-attachment is to know when you hold a bird, you don't hold it too tight that it dies. You don't let it so loose that it flies. Okay? You should know how to hold it perfect. And this opportunity of DXN is like that way. Don't put in so much effort that you're drained out to do nothing. Don't do it so casually that you get nothing out of it and flies. You need to know it right. You need to know the right grip of DXN as an opportunity. Okay? Through teaching, we pass the torch of progress. Teach. The best way to learn is to teach. The more I learn this, I realize I have to hold the mic and start speaking. Because everything I know, if I go and teach, it's me who's learning again. Every time I keep on repeating itself, I'm just getting a better version of myself, a better student of myself. And this is exactly what repetition can do, and teaching is the best way to repeat things. Teaching to people because you don't know, somebody can ask you so many questions. Somebody can put you in a challenging situation where you have to think, and that thinking would become the next level of you learning. So always remember to teach. In the realm of no preferences, true freedom resides. So when you have preferences, no, I need, this is not a candy. It should be candy, I know what a candy is. That is preference. If you have no preferences, whatever it is called, you will still take it. Right? You will experience things as it is. When you experience things as it is, it's only because you have no preferences. And people who have no preferences experience life as it is. And that experience is what becomes the memory. And we all live with memories. So let life showcase you all the beauty that lies in the next moment, which you don't know. Nobody knows what the next moment is going to offer you. It could be a connect to a new prospect. You're just talking about DXN and the guy just says, wow, it's such an interesting thing I want. Right? Like we were in Cebu and we met we met one of the richest guys there who was having a museum, and when we interacted with and we were looking at the museum and all the stuff in the museum, I see suddenly something and I start talking and they are so impressed, they call the owner, you should meet this guy, he's some kind of an amazing guy you need. Then the owner comes all the way and says, why am I staff so much excited about calling me, to there? And then they tell me that he's the most influential guy there. And when he comes in, he has those tons of questions. Now, can you imagine an old 67-year-old Chinese man, very powerful man with his phone, recording whatever I'm saying about the stuff that he does not know. And then he's spending another 1 hour talking to us. And then when I tell him, you should take good mushrooms. You should take mushrooms for your gut, you should take mushrooms for your heart, you should take mushrooms for your lungs, your kidneys. He said, where will I get that? I said, this is the guy, Devin, you take it from him. Then say, hey, please give me, the Devin is smart enough to put the calendar there. Then says, oh, can I take that calendar? And he's writing the numbers, okay, to contact. You see, that's a sell without selling, okay? You should be able to have no preferences. You never know which one is going to be your prospect. You were talking to a receptionist when actually because you had no preference, the boss comes in. Who knows what is going to happen next? But you have to perform. You have to deliver. You have to share. Okay? And that's the way you progress. Next slide. Flexibility is the key to resilience. Okay? If you want to be resilient, you want to bounce back, remember to be flexible. Rigid things always break. People who are broken are being rigid. People who have bounced back have been the one who have been flexible. Flexibility is possible if you are ready to accommodate things, if you are ready to give up on things, if you are ready to reshape yourself. And that is possible when you have faith. Again, I'm telling you, faith is the only basis on which you can build your flexibility and your resilience. Whatever happens, however life tosses you and turns you, because of faith, you will always remain flexible. And keep that faith in DX, and you'll see that you will be so flexible, never to be broken in your life. Yes. In sharing, we create the world of abundance. DXN is this. This is the definition of DXN. The industry that people call us is they call it the MLM industry, the multi-level marketing industry, the direct selling industry. But that's not it. This is a 2,500-year-old concept that abundance, prosperity comes from sharing. That's why those traders that produce silk in China carried it all the way to Europe, and that built the Chinese empire to be the rich and the prosperous empire. The countries like India that produce all the spices traded it through the spice route to different countries, and that made India the rich and affluent country. I'm sure there are stories about Philippines too. It was always being the sharing that has brought prosperity, and DXN is following that 2,500 year concept of sharing, and we are doing that through our much organized system where every person who shared it with somebody who shares further is rewarded some part of that sharing. And I think that's the best way you should take bonus, because this sharing of things that is all blessed will bring not only financial freedom to you, because in the book you will realize you get two benefits. One is this celestial merits for your good acts. Like if you do some trading, you get some money. That's it. But what that thing that you traded did is going to also give you some, what we say, the non-celestial merit. Something that is not tangible. Okay? That supreme merit that you will get. That thing that is not defined. These are called blessings. You see, you trade a gun and somebody goes, you might make money out of that. But with that gun, somebody goes and gets killed and that family suffers. Even though you got the money, that celestial merit, the curse that comes along with the suffering of that family which was killed with a gun, you'll have to still pay a price of that. You will have to repent for that. There's no other way. Repentance is the only way. But on the other side, if you take a food supplement, even a simple papaya candy that you will give it to somebody, you will make some money out of it. But on the other side, those people who will consume that, they will bless you because of the food that you gave them. And you've been the feeder that helped them to live longer. That blessing is going to transform your life. Very, very important. So we are blessed for that. Selflessness unlocks the door to liberation. Be selfless. Okay? If you want liberty, you want that freedom to do what you want to do, you have to be selfless. Selfish people cannot achieve more. They can be free, but in a very small shell they will be free. But a person who is looking for liberation has to be selfless. Selfless to help everyone in DXN. That's why in DXN we just don't help one line or our downline. We help everybody who's interested in DXN. It doesn't matter. Whoever is interested in DXN, maybe he's being prospected by everybody, we still show the same energy, the same excitement, the same enthusiasm to share something that we know. And that builds DXN to what it is today, the selfless nature of every distributor. Okay? Your journey is your responsibility. Do not expect that you have sent your kid to school and it's the teacher's responsibility in the school to make him a good child, make him an intelligent child. Sorry. Your job is to send to the school. The teacher's job is to teach, but it's the job of the student, the child, to study and take that responsibility of passing in the exam. Nobody is going to be accountable for that. In DXN also it's the same thing. Your upline might introduce you, he might guide you, he might help you, but to be successful in DXN, the journey is your responsibility. Nobody is going to take care. Patience is a virtue that leads you to success. That's the most important thing. Have patience. Patience tests you, whether you're ready to continue or give up. The ones who give up, okay, will never reach where they had set their eyes on. The ones who continue, someday will reach there. Patience tests you there, okay? To keep that there. So have patience. Because there are many who have already reached the Crown Ambassador level. Okay, more than 50 now to be true, and every week I think somewhere or the other there is a Crown Ambassador, blossoming. I always see this as a tree, this big tree that has grown now DXN. Now this tree is now flowering into Crown Ambassadors. So first, once in a while, one flower came here, then it came here, on another branch, one here. Now with 50 flowers already, it's like boom, flowering here, flowering there, flowering here, flowering there. The speed is just increasing. So you will see a lot of Crown Ambassadors becoming, Crown Ambassadors very soon. And I'm sure many of this by next year will be Crown Ambassadors also to really understand that. So clarity paves way for prosperity. Have clear ideas because clarity is being simple. Okay? With clarity, you will be able to take decisions faster. With fast decision making, you will be saving time, and time is your money. Okay? So remember, don't be confused, be simple, be clear. Because clarity comes from a mind that has a very clear vision, a clear goal, a clear mission. For clarity, you have to have those vision boards that tell you where you have to go, what you have to do, what is things you have to achieve. You have to have your list of your responsibilities. Like if you have 10 prospecting to be done today, make the list, do it. Be disciplined. Clear people are disciplined people because they're not confused at all. They are able to finish their task because they are clear. They don't need instructions again and again. Because only the one who needs instructions again and again is the one who is not clear. He is the most indisciplined guy. A disciplined guy knows clearly what he has to do, does not ask any further. The day in DX and after you have joined and you have signed up and you have decided to go on a journey to becoming a crown ambassador, to becoming financially free, earning all that money so that you can fulfill all your dreams and desires, that point, after that, there is no more questioning. It's a clear journey. And that clarity will lead you to prosperity. Okay? Yeah, so that's it. And if you want to understand, that's the third book. The previous one was India. So I think it will be interesting read if you love to read. If not, somebody who reads will share it with you. So it's something that I believe is worth sharing. So I did share it with you because there are amazing stories that every businessman who has lost everything after reading this has got his mind set again in trying to try it out again and is able to build his fortune again. So this is a very nice, you can say,